Do you remember reading Shoes from Grandpa? This time when we read, let's see if you can use the picture clues to name each family member and what that person wants to get Jessie. Alright, so I'm going to stop on each page and let you think about what each person wants to buy Jessie. Alright, but before we do, let's also talk about some things that are going to help us understand the story and be able to read the story better. Alright, good readers, they try and summarize the story. So, while they're reading, they think about what story parts will help them remember the story so that they can retell it. And they also try and make predictions or inferences about why things are happening in the story and if the character is happy or excited. So you might want to think about which present is Jessie most excited about. Do you think Jessie's happy with all of her presents? Alright, so let's go ahead and let's read the story.
Let's read Shoes from Grandpa by Mem Fox, illustrated by Patricia Mullins.
Late one summer, Jessie's father invited all the family over for a barbecue. When Grandpa saw Jessie, he stood back and said, "My, how you've grown! You'll need a new pair of shoes this winter, and I'll buy them." "Thanks a lot, Grandpa," said Jessie. Then her dad said, "I'll buy you some socks from the local shops to go with the shoes from Grandpa."
Now before we actually go to the next page, now why do you think Jessie's dad bought her shoes? Or socks, I mean. Why do you think Jessie's dad bought her socks? Yeah, because she got new shoes. And I don't know if her shoes matched her socks. So maybe her dad wanted to see her socks match her shoes. Alright, let's go to the next page. Now what do you think Mom's going to buy Jessie? Let's see if your prediction is right.
And her mom said, "I'll buy you a skirt that won't show the dirt, to go with the socks from the local shops, to go with the shoes from Grandpa." And her cousin said, "I'll look for a blouse with ribbons and bows, to go with the skirt that won't show the dirt, to go with the socks from the local shops, to go with the shoes from Grandpa."
Let's pause right here. Now, Jessie's cousin says she'll look for a blouse with ribbons and bows. Is this a blouse that you think Jessie would wear? Is this Jessie in the picture? Let's go back. Right here is Jessie getting the skirt put on. Does she have the same hair as this girl? No, so that's not Jessie. So, do you think Jessie would wear a blouse with ribbons and bows? No, I don't think she would either. Now, what do you think Jessie's sister is going to get her? Let's see if your prediction's correct.
And her sister said, "I'll get you a sweater when the weather gets wetter, to go with the blouse with ribbons and bows, to go with the skirt that won't show the dirt, to go with the socks from the local shops, to go with the shoes from Grandpa.
Now here's Grandma. What do you think Grandma is going to get Jessie? Take a look at the picture. What's new on Jessie's body? See back here, it was a sweater. What's new? Let's see if your prediction's correct.
And her grandma said, "I'll find you a coat you could wear on a boat to go with the sweater when the weather gets wetter, to go with the blouse with ribbons and bows, to go with the skirt that won't show the dirt, to go with the socks from the local shops, to go with the shoes from Grandpa."
Now here's Jessie's aunt. What do you think Jessie's aunt is going to give her? Take a look at what she's working on. I think she's going to give Jessie a scarf because she's working on knitting a really long scarf. Let's find out.
And her aunt said, "I'll knit you a scarf that'll make us all laugh, to go with the coat you could wear on a boat, to go with the sweater when the weather gets wetter, to go with the blouse with ribbons and bows." To go with the skirt that won't show the dirt, to go with the socks from the local shops, to go with the shoes from Grandpa. And her brother said, "I'll find you a hat you can put on like that, to go with the scarf that'll make us all laugh, to go with the coat you could wear on a boat, to go with the sweater when the weather gets wetter, to go with the blouse with ribbons and bows, to go with the skirt that won't show the dirt, to go with the socks from the local shops, to go with the shoes from Grandpa."
Okay, let's pause here. And now, what hats do you see in this picture? What hats do you see? Well, if I look, I see he has an alligator hat on his head. Some kind of hat over here. I don't know if it's a dress-up kind of hat or a winter kind of hat. But if I look over here, I also see a magician's hat. And it looks like maybe a witch's hat or a clown hat. All right. What kind of shoes do you see? I see two kinds of shoes. See if you can find them. Can you point to the shoes? Very good. You found them. Right here, these are high heels for maybe your mom or aunt or grandma wears high heels. And here, Jesse's brother, he's wearing rain boots, or maybe they're snow boots. So, there you go. You are great at finding things in pictures. Let's continue on. Now, what do you think Jesse's uncle is going to buy her? Take a look at the picture. What do you think Jesse's uncle is going to buy her? I think Jesse's uncle is going to buy her some mittens, because his finger is pointing here to this sign that says mittens, and there are a whole bunch of different kinds of mittens here in front of the store. So I think that's what's going to happen. Let me see if my prediction or inference was right.
And her uncle said, I'll buy you some mittens that are softer than kittens. To go with the hat you can put on like that. To go with the scarf that'll make us all laugh. To go with the coat you could wear on a boat. To go with the sweater when the weather gets wetter. To go with the blouse with ribbons and bows. To go with the skirt that won't show the dirt. To go with the socks from the local shops. To go with the shoes from Grandpa. And Jessie said, You're all so kind that I hate to be mean. But please, would one of you buy me some jeans?
Now, why do you think Jessie wants jeans? Why do you think she would want jeans? All of these people just bought her nice clothes to wear. Why do you think she wants jeans? Well, I know from looking back in the story that it looks like Jessie likes to play. Alright, and I see that her skirt here is dirty, maybe. And here, is she smiling when her mom bought her that skirt? No, she's not smiling. That looks like a frowny face. Here, her cousin had a smile on whenever she was giving her this blouse with ribbons and bows. We don't see Jessie there, but here, when Jessie's in the sweater, does she have a smile on her face? No, Jessie doesn't have a smile. Now here, Jessie has a smile. She's out in a boat. Maybe she's having fun, and that's why she's smiling. Here we don't know what Jessie's thinking about her scarf. Oh, it looks like she's having fun with the scarf because the dog is playing and pulling on it. We don't see Jessie in this picture. Don't see Jessie. Does Jessie look happy with her mittens from her uncle? No. Do you think she looks silly with red shoes, pink socks, a brown skirt, a green sweater, a pink blouse, coat, and an alligator hat and mittens? Yeah, I think she looks pretty silly. So here, I can see why she might want some jeans. She just wants to be able to, well, let's see what happens. Skateboard. She wants to be able to go out and skateboard. I don't think a skirt and all those other clothes are very good clothes to go skateboarding in. Alright, well, we've been talking about signs, and if we look back at this page, page 24, you can see signs at this shop. See signs that tell people that they sell socks, signs that tell people that this shop sells hats, and signs that told Jessie's uncle that they sold mittens. Alright, so today we're going to think about some different types of signs, and think of signs that you might see outside of a bathroom that would let you know what kind of bathroom it is and who can use it. Very good. I mean, you could see this one. This means boys or men only. This one is a sign for women only or girls only. This one means that either men or women can use it. And this sign means that a whole family could use that bathroom. Okay? And notice the signs have a picture and a word. Okay? So it has a picture of a man, and a man sitting in a wheelchair, and it says men. There's a picture of a woman sitting in a wheelchair, and it says woman. Here it just says a generic restroom because Either men or women can use it. And here it says family because it has a mom, a dad, and a child. And maybe even a handicapped child, someone who needs a wheelchair to get around. All right? Let's think of signs that you might see on your street corner by your house. Well, I know the first one that popped into my head when I thought about this was a stop sign. You might also see signs that tell you if you can walk across the street or not. Or you could see signs that tell you what road you're standing on. All right? And let's think about things that you might see at a store. You might see an exit sign. You could also see a push sign, letting you know that you need to push the door open. You might also see a pull sign, letting you know that you need to pull the door open. You could see an in or an out sign. Okay? And that's exactly what you're going to get to do today. You're going to get to make a sign of your very own. Okay? So, what I want you to do is I want you to think in your head of a sign that you would see at home or near your home, and I want you to draw it. All right? And I did mine. I just did a stop sign because I see stop signs right outside my front door. Now what I did is I had a plain piece of white paper. I held it so the long side was facing me, and I wrote my name at the top. And then I went ahead and I drew my stop sign. Okay? I also wrote the word stop in it because that's part of the stop sign. You could also write words. Maybe if your sign has words in it, you could write it there. Or you can write them below, letting me know, like a sign saying mittens for sale. Okay? So remember, have someone take a picture of you doing this and a picture of your completed work. Right? Do your best job. So go ahead, pause this video, and complete a picture of a sign at or near your home. Alright, this stuff is for part 2, which is below this video. Alright, so in part 2, you're going to get a chance to tell me what's happening in a story. So, the story you're going to get to tell me what's going on in is Cat's Surprise. Alright, we're just going to go have a quick look through on these, and then you can go ahead and do it. So, here we have Cat's Surprise. So here's a picture of a family with a cat, and here's a cat. Now, I'm not going to tell you what's going on in these pictures. You're just going to get a quick look at them before you go ahead and you tell me the story. Alright? So here we go. So you're going to have to tell me what's going on in this picture. You have to tell me what's going on in this picture. You have to tell me what they're doing. What is he holding? Okay, here in this picture, I don't know. You're going to have to figure out what they're doing in this picture. You're also going to have to figure out what they're doing in this picture. Here you're going to have to tell me what's going on in this picture. Okay? Use lots and lots of details, okay? And tell me the best story that you can. Alright? So go ahead, tell me what's going on in these pictures using your own words. I can't wait to hear your story, okay? Do your best work.